When news broke of the shooting, before it was confirmed that Charlie Kirk had been killed in this, figures on both the left and the right came out to offer support for Kirk, condemn the shooting. Vice President J.D. Vance wrote this: say a prayer for Charlie Kirk, a genuinely good guy and a young father. Charlie Kirk has a young son, daughter, 3 and 1, I believe. Conservative commentator Glenn Beck stated his daughter was at the event, just 10 feet away from Kirk when the shooting happened. David Hogg, survivor of the Stoneman Douglas High School shooting, wrote this: horrifying news that Charlie Kirk has been shot. Gun violence, political violence have to effing stop. Charlie, his family, and all the students who had to witness the shooting are in my thoughts. We have disagreements, but we all agree something has to change. Representative Rokana put up this: the shooting of Charlie Kirk at a university is chilling and horrific. Political violence has no place in America. We all must reflect on how we can tone down the anger and hate that has poisoned our politics and be better citizens in a divided and aching nation. Zohran Mamdani, Democratic nominee for the mayor of New York. I'm horrified by the shooting of Charlie Kirk at a college event in Utah. Political violence has no place in our country. In the immediate aftermath of the shooting, others wrote Democrats are to blame. Again, these reactions posted before Kirk's death was even confirmed. Elon Musk. The left is the party of murder. Elon Musk. An excerpt from Laura Loomer's immediate reaction to the shooting. We'll put that up. Democrats cannot keep getting away with declaring open season on conservatives. Commentator Nick Sorter wrote this: breaking. The man who shot Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University is reportedly in custody. The left has declared literal war on us. Democrats and their violent rhetoric own this. Representative Anna Paulina Luna wrote this: I'm done with the rhetoric this rotten house and corrupt media has caused. Every damn one of you who called us fascists did this. You were too busy doping up kids, cutting off their genitals, inciting racial violence by supporting organizations that exploit minorities, protecting criminals, and stirring hate. You are the hate you claim to fight. Your words caused this. Your hate caused this. Charlie, his family, those kids, no one deserved this. Enough is enough. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, on the other hand, said Trump was to blame. Political violence, unfortunately, has ramped up in this country. I think there are people who are fomenting it in this country. I think the president's rhetoric often foments it. J.B. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois. And so the finger pointing continues again.
Yeah.
A good number of those written, posted before it was confirmed that Charlie Kirk was shot and killed. He'd been shot, but there was no word on whether he survived this. I guess, Cenk, what do you make of, we always say this when there's these tragedies, is something going to be the one thing that changes this and brings us all together? You know, because again, all I could think about was his mother, of course, his kids, his wife. Nobody gives a damn about his politics right now. They could care less to be used in this ongoing war, political war. So what, is there hope? I mean, I know you're going to do that after the show and join others and do Operation Hope, but is there any hope that can come out of this disgustingness?
Well, it depends on how we all react, right? And so far, a lot of the reaction has been good in that people are being decent and their heart is going out to Charlie's family, etc. Unfortunately, some has been terrible. And so, look, I've seen some on the left that are celebrating it, but they're a tiny, loud, annoying, unacceptable group of idiots. I didn't love JB Pritzker's comment there because this is not the time to go tit for tat and go back and forth. I also don't like the right wing, getting everyone riled up about the entirety of the left and all the Democrats as if they did the shooting. They didn't do the shooting. The guy who bashed Pelosi's head in, Paul Pelosi's, he didn't. Somebody that voted for Trump in Missouri wasn't him. He doesn't represent all the people on the right. So, but nevertheless, you have comments like this from Jesse Waters, just happened on Fox News. It's happening. You've got trans shooters. You've got riots in LA. They are at war with us. Whether we want to accept it or not, they are at war with us. And what are we going to do about it? How much political violence are we going to tolerate? Charlie would want us to put as much pressure on these people as possible, and everyone is accountable. And we're watching what they're saying on television and who's saying what, the politicians, the media, and all these rats out there. This can never happen again. It ends now. Do you think that helps cool down the temperature, or does that promote potentially more violence? So how does that help? And stop putting words in a dead man's mouth. So I don't know what Charlie would have said about this, and but he can't say anything because some monster shot him and killed him, and so this is not the time to say, okay, all of the left is at fault, all of the right is at fault. Oh, they're starting a war, we should start war. No, that's the exact wrong way to think. This is the time and that goes to Sharon's question, which is, what are we going to do at this seminal moment here? Look, this is not a small thing. This is gigantic. This is one of the bigger things that have ever happened in American media or politics in my lifetime. So are we going to tear each other apart now as a country, or are there going to be any reasonable voices that actually join together on the left and right and say no more violence, no more hating each other? Is it possible? I will try. I'm sure some others will try. Will we win, or will we be washed out in a tsunami of hate? Hard to tell right now. Hate, unfortunately, is winning right now. And so the answer to that is not more hate, it is empathy for both sides. John, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think based on what we've seen so far, and granted, we're only a couple of hours into this, God knows what will happen in a day or in a week. So much happens every day in the period that we're in. I would say that if we assume that the shooter ends up being democratically affiliated or leftist affiliated or whatever, which still has not been established. And I mean, you've already hinted at some potential, albeit a little bit hard to imagine, explanations as to why it might not be. It could be some crazed person that disagrees with them about Israel. It could be some crazed person who's mad about the Epstein cover-up or something. I'm not saying that I think that's likely, but it's not impossible. So many right-wingers have already gone way beyond that to push, as you pointed out, this hatred, this they're coming for us, it's open season or whatever. And I would say that the way that Democrats and leftists have responded should be a model for the response to every one of these things. And we have not seen this sort of response in past, even recent incidents of political violence. And again, who knows? In a month, I don't know. We've in the past, we've had the president's son doing Halloween costume Instagram jokes about assassins and stuff. Maybe it'll get that disgusting before we're done. But as of right now, I would say people are being incredibly compassionate, which is very much in line with the political values of leftists. And I also think that historically leftists, and especially everyone on our network, has been incredibly rock solid, concrete on opposing political violence, which cannot be said about a lot of people online. A lot of people with big platforms being paid big money, some people on Fox News, do not have that attachment to opposing in every instant political violence that we do. I also think, and I know some people are worried that somebody on Twitter is going to say the wrong thing and that's going to lead Trump to do something crazy or something. I think we should be compassionate and empathetic because that's how we should be. Not because I think that Trump will do or not do something based on it. This regime is gonna do whatever the hell it wants. And the stuff I referenced earlier in the show about like Chris Rufo saying, shut down every Democratic NGO or whatever. To be very clear, he doesn't believe that now because of what happened to Charlie Kirk. He believed that yesterday. They wanted this war between, like a lot of these people wanted that yesterday and last week. This is now a scapegoat, okay? This is a way to push for that, which is, again, incredibly disgusting to tie to a tragedy that we should all just stop. And as you said, think maybe this could be a turning point where we stop going down this dark path. But unfortunately, right now, even as we're recording this, there are a lot of people that are trying as hard as possible as they can to make sure that we go down an even darker one.
Yeah, so look, we've got an audience that's interesting, right? We've got left, we've got a lot of independents, and we have some on the right that watch us because I appreciate that they think we've earned, their trust by being honest about all sides, and so I want to give voice to some of the folks in the audience, but I also don't want you to think that everybody in the chat is representative of everyone else, right? So first, Constantine Kaviris, who's both a member and used a super chat today, said, I don't know if I've ever agreed with Kirk politically, but no one deserves to be killed like that. My thoughts and prayers go out to his family and the safety of everyone on every side of this worsening sphere of American politics. Constantine, you speak for a lot of us on that. Daily Bible Quotes for You says, your chat is the one celebrating. Guys, remember, in a moment like this, a lot of people come to the Young Turks to see what's happening in the news and to discuss it together. And yes, some people on the left and sometimes on the right will say terrible things. Don't let that make you believe that everyone on the other side agrees. Stop hating each other. That's what's leading to these problems in the first place. Always Reason wrote in, can you understand that? Yeah, 3 Democratic legislators just got assassinated by a right-wing lunatic who had many more on the list. I can't fix Republican rage because they live in a fantasy world. Yes, but today, Charlie Kirk was shot and killed. So we don't know who did it yet, but it's likely someone who disagreed with him. So now both sides have done it. Both sides have done it in terrible, disastrous ways. The answer is not more of that kind of violence. The answer is none of that violence. Last one, David Rodriguez says, with the horrific news today, please everyone stay safe. Cenk Mehdi Hassan Pikres, who do public events like this, please be careful. I'm deeply horrified about what comes next, from Trump to mentally ill individuals in the country. But at the same time, guys, remember the right wing is also thinking, oh my God, we've got to be safe because one of their own just got shot and killed. So this is a tragedy and a disaster for the whole country. Last one, Philip Drown said, I can feel Sharon's heart in this and I appreciate it. Cenk, I could not agree more with every point you've made today. I'm glad that you guys are on the air. Well, thank you for all of you for saying that. It's you guys, our viewers and our members that allow us to do this kind of show. And yeah, we don't fit the mold of, okay, our side is 1,000,000,000% right and our political leaders are amazing and they never do anything wrong. No, there's plenty of blame to go around. And today, the point isn't more blame and more hatred. It's some healing. And it starts, in this case, the onus is on us on the left to show empathy to Charlie, who was on the right, and to his family, because he was killed today. It's our job to show empathy today. And by the way, if the right yells at you and says this, that, or the other thing, you know what? How about we let it go today, okay? How about we say, we're sorry for your loss. Even if that's painful to you, even if they've said something terrible to you. Because either you're gonna ratchet up the volume and the anger, or you're gonna try to bring it down. So please do the right thing and have empathy for them and don't make it worse. Try in a tiny little way to make it better. And the way to do that is to say our hearts go out to you for your loss. That's easy, should be easy. Let's all do it together. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets its wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.